Alright. In accordance with my court-ordered therapy and the insistence of the Lawndale School Board, who have voiced some sort of objection to me actually having any sort of input into my own class curriculum and how I keep order in my class, I swear you know, just pardon me for having some resentment as to having to teach the same mental midget quarterback because he was too stupid to pass graduation. I thought I was done with him. I thought I was done. But no. No, they see in their infinite wisdom to force me to come back to teaching that mental midget. In any event, in accordance with Ms. Lee's totalitarian regime and a threat of being fired for the mere pittance that I make, which keeps me in a steady diet of pizza rolls and generic brand name soda, not to mention a substantial quantity of wild turkey, I have been ordered by my therapist to begin dealing with some of my anger issues. He has recommended, therefore, that I begin keeping this so-called vlog to try to express some of the more minor things that irritate me and share them with the world at large. He seems to think this will somehow fix my anger issues if it make me able to deal with the idiocy that goes on in a laughable excuse for a public school system. That said, I would like to take a moment to discuss something which has been bothering me for some time, and that is the issue of class. Quite frankly, today's young people don't have the slightest idea of what decorum is, at all. Whether it's loud music that's insipid teeny papa rock playing over and over and over in my head, or the more idiotic tradition of wearing one's pants so low that you can tell what religion a child is, it makes me sick. No one knows how to dress anymore, and Hollywood doesn't help. Therefore, everywhere I go, it's always the celebrities and the things and the scantily clad. Ooh, who's wearing what at the Oscars? It's ridiculous. I, for one, refuse to play that game anymore. I have determined that for my own sanity and my ability to cope with the modern world, I have refused to look at any film made after 1972. I have found this to be an excellent way to do it. And I would heartily recommend to anyone out there who would like to learn how to comport themselves in a truly stylish and well-mannered manner to look at the film Ocean's 11. No, not that George Clooney, Brad Pitt nonsense. Avoid all three of those films. They're pathetic and shallow imitations of the original. I am referring, of course, to the 1960 original film starring the members of the Rat Pack. Yes, the Rat Pack. Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Peter Lawford, and Joey Bishop. 5 of the greatest entertainers who ever existed. And I know that there are some of you out there on this vast time waster we call the internet who are going to say, oh, Mr. DeMartino, why on earth would we want to watch that old piece of crap? It's not even all that entertaining. It's not about entertainment. It's about learning something. The 1960 was a time when men wore suits, where men drank martinis, women comported themselves in an elegant manner, even if they were in a slightly less than legal profession. And Ocean's 11, the original, shows this in a great manner. And not only that, the men in Danny Ocean's crew, played excellently by Mr. Sinatra, are in fact not criminals. Only one of them has a prison record, and that's because he was dragged into it when he needed money before the film even began. No, the men in Ocean's 11 are strong, stalwart, and veterans of the Second World War. Paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne. Men who strategize and think and go forth and rob not 3, but 5 Vegas casinos without any high-tech foolery or anything like that. Infrared paint, distractions, and blowing up an electrical tower. That's it! That's all they needed? Well, that and one big garbage truck, but still! They steal millions of dollars in the one night, New Year's Eve, one of the most crowded nights in Las Vegas. Not that I would know, I can't afford Las Vegas on my salary. So instead, they steal the money. But even still, even though you are rooting for them, the film never forgets that this is, in fact, an illegal enterprise. And as a result, they do not get the money. Oh, sorry, I forgot the conventions of this idiocy. Spoiler alert! No, they don't get the money. And as a matter of fact, it proves very promptly that crime does not pay. Oh, you may not get caught by the police. You may get away with your master plan, but that doesn't mean you're going to be able to enjoy your payoff. Oh no. What happens? Well, the aforementioned member, their electrician, who spent time in jail and was come out of jail, and they rope him into this, dies of a heart attack in the middle of Route 91. Right outside the Flamingo. I beg your pardon, the Riviera. He dies. And then, when it appears that the rest of the crew is going to lose their money to another gangster who has it in for Peter Lawford's character, they decide to hide their ill-gotten gains in the coffin of their dead comrade, with the idea that his wife will come, take the coffin, and send it back to San Francisco, whereupon they will find some way to collect the money. And what happens at the very end of the film when it looks like all is lost and Cesar Romero is about to bust them all for it? The big joke on everyone. Their comrade, in order to save the widows some money, has been recommended to be cremated by the mortician. They don't get the money. That's how it ends. The movie goes to the credits immediately after this revelation. That's it. Movie's over. Thank you for your money. Goodbye. Please dispose of your popcorn containers in the proper receptacle. Now, compare that to the 2000 and whatever remake with Clooney and Pitt. Yeah. They're all criminals, and they get away with it. Oh, sure, you can talk about how Andy Garcia is tracking them down in there and makes them give the money back in the next movie. Doesn't matter. They still get away with it. They're still criminals. And it glorifies the criminal lifestyle. Although God knows that that it's probably more profitable than any sort of job in the public sector. But to anyone out there, the original Ocean's 11 from 1960 evokes a time long past when there was style, where there was a sense of elegance, where there was a sense of men being men and women being women, and Shirley MacLaine getting drunk in a parking lot. Oh yes! I can tell you stories of my younger days, my friends. Oh yes. I miss those days, and young people today will be well advised to go back to learning to watch this film and learn a little bit of class. If not necessarily how to effectively rob casinos in a low-tech manner. You know, now that I think of it, if they could do it, why couldn't we? Miss Lee, I know, has a slush fund somewhere in her office, and a high school is nowhere near as well secured as a Las Vegas casino or a bank. Huh. Excuse me for a moment. Let's see here. Hello, Timothy? I got a proposition for you.